who discovers a very old bottle that came... There's a very, very loud truck in my street right now. I think they're gone. Okay. Hello everybody, it's Sara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited because I'm coming at you with my top 5 books that I want to read for this summer. You know the drill by now. I am doing a very chill seasonal TBR at every season, and I've decided to go once again with only 5 books because I just really want to focus on the things that I'm excited about. You know, it's not the numbers that matter this year, it's the quality and the selection. Also, I haven't read a lot of books in the last couple of weeks because I may or may not be writing a Canish fanfic, and it may or may not have been taken over like half of my free time, and I don't know, maybe possibly it's linked in the description of this video in case, like me, you've been obsessed with them since watching the show and you've realized that they're just everything to you and all of your life goals now revolve around them because you just adore them too much. Yeah, anyway, with that being said, let's move along. I might regret this, it's fine, everything is fine. So the first book that I'm really excited to be reading this summer is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I've already started this. I read like 12 pages in the subway this morning, which is very fitting. It wasn't planned, but it happened. And in case you don't know, this is Casey McQuiston's newest release. They are the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is one of my favorite standalones of all time. I love it so much. And in this new rom-com, we basically follow August, who is this bisexual girl, and she's moving to New York. And all that I know about her is that she is going to be meeting this girl, Jane, on the G train, I think, in New York. And they are going to start to have this blooming romance, but there is a twist, and that is that Jane is actually from the 80s, I think, and she is stuck into this time travel loop, and that just sounds absolutely perfect. It sounds like everything to me. I cannot wait. I know that I'm going to really enjoy this book because I absolutely adore Casey McQuiston's writing. It's just so funny and so perfectly ridiculous and over the top in a way that just makes me incredibly happy, and it's always just very fluffy and cute, and it makes me feel like all mushy inside in the best way possible. And yeah, when this book was announced, I literally lost my mind because, like I said, I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue so much, and I can't wait to cry lots of tears of joy while reading this book because I definitely feel like this is what's going to happen. Then the next book on my summer TBR is very different, and it is a book that I have been meaning to read for months. Honestly, it's kind of embarrassing that I still haven't picked this book up yet, and that book is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Assassin's Apprentice. I always say The Assassin's Apprentice. It is just Assassin's Apprentice, but somehow it just doesn't want to stick into my brain. This is a book that Mary from Mary Among Stories actually sent over to me when we did this like surprise book haul, and I have been meaning to read it for so long. We actually have a video collaboration, like a fun vlog type of thing planned for the reading of these books that we sent one another, so it will definitely be happening very soon. Keep your eyes out for that. But basically you probably know what this is about if you love fantasy, because Robin Hobb is one of the most beloved fantasy writers of all time, and this is the first book into the Farseer trilogy in which we follow Fitz, who is an assassin's apprentice. And from what I can gather in this trilogy, we basically follow him from his childhood to his adulthood as he is going on these different missions for the king, because I think he is like the bastard son of the king, so he's at the court but he doesn't have a lot of power, so they use him as an assassin. And I've heard so many incredible things about this series. I know that the first book in particular is apparently very dense and very world building focused, but I know also that so many people absolutely adore Robin Hobb. Not only people that I follow into the BOOKTube community, but also people in my own personal life have been telling me to read these books because they know that I will probably really love them. So yeah, I'm just so excited to finally pick this up and see for myself if I like it. And I really hope I do, because I really want to be the kind of person who loves Robin Hobb. I don't know why, I just I really want to be that kind of like fantasy reader. So yeah, let's hope it turns out really, really great, and I have a feeling I'm probably really going to love it. Then the next book that I want to talk about in this video is Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. This is actually the sequel to Fireborn from the same author that I read last year and really, really enjoyed. I don't even think it was last year. I think it was the year before that, in 2019. The good old days. But anyway, this is the sequel to that book, and I have to say I don't remember too much about Fireborn, so I'm probably gonna have to reread that one, or at least read a very detailed summary of it. But from what I can remember, it's basically this dual point of view fantasy story in which we follow those two dragon riders that are actually competing against one another to become the leaders of their dragon riders fleet. But they're also best friends, and they might also have romantic feelings towards one another, and also their country is kind of in shambles after a revolution that happened a couple of years ago, and they're kind of trying to put it back together. And the first book was so good. It was everything that I love into a YA fantasy. It had great characters. I love both of the protagonists so much, and also I loved all of the relationships that we had between the dragon riders, like all of the rivalry, all of the friendship. I loved all of that, and the world building was so great. And also just dragons, I love them. I don't think you can really go wrong with dragons. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this second book because the first one ended on quite the cliffhanger, so I can't wait to see what is going to happen with all of my favorite characters. Then the next book I am so excited about, and it actually comes out this month, and that book is The Bucks in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. As you may already know if you've been following my channel for a while, the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson is actually one of my favorite mystery series of all time. I love it so much, and it's like this mystery series in which we follow Stevie Bell, and she goes to this very elite academy on top of a mountain in Vermont, and she is trying to solve a case that happened there 30 years ago that never was resolved. And in this book we actually follow her after the events of the trilogy, after she has finally succeeded to solve the case, and we follow her as she goes to this summer camp, I think, and then some weird things start to happen, and she finds like a box in the wood, I can assume, and there's a new mystery that she needs to unsolve. And I don't know much about it, obviously, as you can probably tell, but I am so excited because I love Stevie so much. I'm also very excited to see if we're going to be reunited with the other characters from the main trilogy, because I love them too, and I can't wait to have yet another book just put me on the edge of my seat the entire time, because the Truly Devious series is really a roller coaster, so I can't wait to read a book like that again. I feel like it's been so long, and I just can't wait for all of the mystery, all of the intrigue, and all of the creepy vibes I'm gonna get from this book. I think it's going to be fantastic. And then finally, the last book that I want to talk about in today's video is The Last Apothecary by Sarah Penner. This is our pick over at the Tea Leaves Book Club for the month of May and June. So I definitely have to read it this month because otherwise I'm going to be late. We still don't have a date for the live show, however, but we will let you know on Twitter and Instagram once we do. And all that I know about this book is that it's about this lost apothecary in London, and we follow two different timelines. One of them is historical. I don't remember, I think it's in like the 1800s, and we follow this owner of this apothecary that basically sells poison to women so they can kill their abusive husbands, which, by the way, so badass. That sounds so cool. And we also follow a different timeline in present day, and I think the main character that we follow is like this journalist who discovers a very old bottle that came... There's a very loud truck in my street right now. I think they're gone. Okay. So yeah, we follow this journalist in present day London, and she finds this very old bottle that is actually from the apothecary, so she starts to investigate about it, and it sounds so great. So yeah, as I was saying, So yeah, I'm definitely very interested about this whole secret apothecary business. I think that this book sounds really good, and I can't wait to discuss it with all of my lovely co-hosts, Mary, Sofia, and Hilary. And if you're joining us, definitely let me know, and we will let you know when the live show is going to be taking place later during this month. But there you all have it. These are the 5 books that are on my summer TBR. Let me know down below which are the books that you are planning to read this summer, because I would really love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!